On March 11, 2012, a catastrophe occurred in the Sun. The mysterious dark astronomical object was observed by NASA's Solar Observation Satellite SDO camera as if it extended a tentacle-like object to the Sun and supplied energy. First of all, it is surprising that the size of this dark object is equivalent to the Jupiter CLS*, almost 11 times larger than the Earth. And despite being close to the Sun, which has the largest gravity in the solar system, it is not affected by the gravity of the Sun at all. If you were so close, it would be safe to be drawn into the gravity of the Sun. This dark object is not moving from its place with the tentacles in contact with the Sun, and it seems that this dark object is in solar flares XME and corona, but if you see the video, as you can see, the position where the tentacles are in contact is moving due to the rotation of the Sun, so you can see the difference from solar flares and coronas. You can see that this dark object is not part of the Sun, but a separate entity from the Sun. What's even more surprising is that the giant dark astronomical object does not follow a fixed orbit and moves freely and rapidly around the solar system. The day after the dark celestial body left the Sun at a tremendous speed, the magnetic poles of the Sun began to split, and then a giant isosceles triangular corona hole, with one side exceeding the Sun's radius, appeared on the Sun. NASA says it has already been discovered and named this unknown dark object codenamed Tishya. Tishya is a mysterious star appearing in the Hindu scripture Vishnu Purana, which foretells the end of humanity, and is also known as the star of the king, Rajasan. According to Buddha's prophecy, it will come out at the end of the world. When the giant celestial body, Rajasan, appears behind Jupiter, it appears that Shambhala has left the ground when the great king descends. Shambhala is a celestial body in a subspace that coexists with the nucleus inside the Earth, and is sometimes called Azar. According to his latest cosmology, the genius theory physicist N.S. Imharmain of the United States said, "The Sun contains a space-time singularity of a black hole at the center." According to his latest cosmology, civilization may have entered or exited a planet-sized spacecraft using a black hole inside the Sun as a stargate to access our solar system for any purpose. The photographer who supported the Harmain theory performed ASYS using the latest image processing methods and found that a giant planetary-sized UFO emerged from a temporarily open black tunnel in the corona of the Sun's surface. I was able to do it. It's hardly believable by common sense, but it wouldn't be surprising if there were extraterrestrial or hyperdimensional space civilization technologies that reach at the ultra-high level that could use the Sun at the doorway. If this object really is a stargate that connects to other galaxies, what does the person using this stargate do freely in and out of the stargate and back and forth with that galaxy? We're not alone. Quote, according to Buddha's prophecy, he knew something was fishy about all of this. Proof where? Prophecy what? According to your mom. Be more specific. F***. Ask him. Carrot. None of those are from the Buddha though, are they? You pathetic name for Christcock. Quote, you pathetic name for Christcock. You seem to be on a right idea aside from your whole Jesus part. And your writing is way too Christian poetic and missing the general truth it seems. Jesus or his father is just one symbolic instance created for your religion, isn't it? If there is God, it must be general and both basic and complex to its core idk. Quote, Jesus or his father is just one symbolic instance created for your religion, isn't it? What are those marked symbols? Why the other two, male and female? I think it is meant to be the symbol for Earth. You think God is only the Saturn or the Jupiter? Top KEK. If it's an existence, shouldn't it be an universal singularity, or some whole light of who knows higher dimensions like 12th, 13th something? Quote, you think God is only the Saturn or the Jupiter? No. What the hell is this from? I must see it. I'm trying to remember it, but I know it's a movie and that scene is kind of a spoiler. Try searching movie End of the World or something related. I'll come back if I find it. Found it knowing 2009. Found it knowing 2009. The Illuminati worships Saturn because there is a relationship between their gods, space aliens, and the planet Saturn. The Illuminati does not comprehend what that relationship actually is. The real information is occult knowledge, and it is going to stay occult for now. I will explain it after the MS** arrests take place. A lot of Earth history can finally be made public knowledge after the space lizards are no longer in any sort of power here, and the Illuminati have all been dealt with. It is a pretty cool story too. You'll enjoy it. There is a lot more to the story than you would ever imagine. Truth is always stranger than fiction. Quote, Y size, and some have been seen from the size of a ping pong ball up to the size of Jupiter. A sixth density space alien does not have a physical body, and can appear in any form they choose. I never heard of one being so big before, but why not? The space aliens have been blocking the path of the space lizards so that they cannot come and go. The lizards that are here are stuck here and will be put on trial for the crimes they have committed. Sounds good to me. If they will allow me to help, I will supply my own ammo, and I am willing to arrest us. Just spill your beans, if you got any. As you have probably heard by now, there are stories out that several of the space lizards' underground bases have already been breached by US Marines. The story of the first time it happened, no one told the Marines that there would be space lizards in the underground base, and there they were armed to the teeth when things that appear as the ancient descriptions of demons engage them in hand-to-hand combat. Kind of a surprise, don't you think? Sources. Even if it's some wacky blog, I need a good read. Hands up, tell me all no you woke F***. I'd like to tell you right now, I would have told you years ago, but I am certain some of the information would help the enemy, so I can't do it yet. Expose your heart, brother. You cannot fight with your hands covering it. They seek the truth. You must be more subtle, shepherd, if you will lead the lambs. Quote, after the MS** arrests take place, looks like this is going to happen very, very soon. I wonder if Sun Ra, the jazz guy, studied this occult knowledge and that's what he meant by his trip to Saturn. Quote, the great order of the ages is born afresh, now justice returns, on it rules return, or return of Saturn's wren winking face, now a new lineage is sent down from high heaven, nice digits friend. The great order of the ages is born afresh. Now justice returns, on it rules return, or return of Saturn's wren, now a new lineage is sent down from high heaven. Asterisk, space aliens return. The Illuminati imagines they will be put into complete control over the Earth, ruling over all Earthlings, while they themselves are ruled over by the returning space aliens. The Illuminati have been waiting for this promised moment for 3,000 years, longer than the name Illuminati has existed. It seemed as if the time was nearly at hand. Looks like it is not going to happen though. MS** arrests soon. Quote, the sun will lose its light, showing itself dark and veiled. The sun will lose its light, showing itself dark and veiled. Here is a NASA image, a coronal hole in the sun that looks like a big blue bird. If the entire surface of the sun became like a coronal hole, then the sun would darken for some time until the sun was able to go back to normal. Has NASA ever postulated a reason why coronal holes occur? Nonsense. The area inside the blue bird was as bright as the rest of the sun, invisible light. In was not as bright in other bands of light. There is some reason for that difference. If part of the sun is not as bright as another part of the sun, then something is going on there. If it was just the same as the rest of the sun, then it would look the same too. Yesterday I had a vision of people being burned by a moving wall of fire. Also checked. Ask him, carrot. That's a metaphor for Bitcoin eating up the fiat system. CHECKM. when you spell his name wrong and forget to mention that he defines the topographical geometry for all the math regarding what he is talking about. Oh wait, it's actually the Tetragrammaton from the Bible the whole time. Yeah. His math paper on it did win awards though. Current understanding of astrophysics doesn't support the theory of there being anything at the center of the sun but a fusion furnace. I don't know about electric universe theory though. However, anyone who can astral travel in any capacity can easily check what's in the center of the sun in the astral. It connects to the center of the galaxy in a way that is similar to how EU theory says stars are connected by plasma arcs. It is also said that aliens are either interdimensional entities or possess the technology to phase in and out of physicality, so you can connect the dots. Is it easy to learn? People have been noticing objects coming and going to and from the sun for a while. Even back in the 90s. I don't have the Pixar in but would post. This is what the sun looks like right now in ons. It's a crown. Corona means crown. I can explain that crown-looking thing. This is more ancient knowledge. The sun is a giant magnet, so are all the planets. Those arcs, and they're huge, are the magnetic lines of force of the magnet. The reason why you can see them, but only in a certain frequency of light that we can only see using technology, is because plasma from down in the sun is attracted to and trapped by those lines of force. The plasma in those lines of force is hotter than the surface of the sun. The lines of force seem to show up in odd places. That is because the sun is rotating, but it is also flipping. It takes 11 years for the north pole of the sun to flip all the way down to the south pole position, and then another 11 years for it to flip all the way back up to the north pole position. The reason why it is flipping is because it encountered another powerful magnet that was ms*IV enough to cause the sun to flip over, and it can't stop flipping because it is a big ball of gas and the little planets don't have enough of gravitational pull to stop it. That is also why the Earth has a wobble and why Uranus is flipped 90 degrees over on its side. Are you saying gravity is somehow magnetic in its nature? No it is. I was taught that the sun is very electrical in nature, and that it is also a giant magnet. The Ra claimed that everything is magnetic, or did they just latch onto that word, one word in our language, and use it as a catch-all for everything? The Ra said each of us, has a magnetic field of our own. Is electricity, magnetism, and gravity all the same thing? Somebody needs to ask *IN at the next time someone gets a chance. Ah yes, the Taurus again. Cheers, I think you are onto something. Based and electric universe pilled. Quote, is electricity, magnetism, and gravity all the same thing? Yes, one force to rule them all. This looks somewhat like another case of that, yeah, but it looks less like an entity sucking energy from the sun and more like some other phenomenon I don't really know how to describe. It might just be coronal cavity occurrences. The part where something just zips out of there and leaves the sun, with all the ms*, that the sun has nearly all the ms* of the entire solar system is in the sun, from a dead stop to just zip and gone, is the part that you can't explain, and that is after it's spent a long time hovering above the sun, without being pulled down into the sun, and without being burned up by the heat of the sun. How are you going to explain that? Did you reply to the wrong post? If not, how does that have anything to do with what I said? Also, you can easily explain it, you just can't explain the physics behind or the tech involved. Supposed that's a valid term here. Supposing it's an entity or an object of some kind, from its ms*IV size you can also infer that it has a ms*IV amount of energy and possibly ms, maybe even more than the sun, which explains how it's able to remain static in relation to the sun. Also, it takes several hours to get away from the sun. If it is technology, then that is some technology, a craft, a lot bigger than the Earth, and it is invisible, that does not reflect any light at all in any light spectrum. What if it is not a craft? What if it really is a sixth density space alien, an indestructible entity of almost no ms*, which can hover next to the unimaginable heat of the sun as easily as it could hover next to any frozen object in deep space? It is not an object, it is a relative vacuum in the sun's atmosphere created by magnetic powerful fields. When the fields start to break down, it shoots out away from the sun. The solar atmosphere is not like anything you are used to on Earth. It is a mistake to think your expectations on how stuff should behave based totally on experience inside Earth's atmosphere have any bearing on conditions there. Honestly, it just looks like a bubble filling up and bursting. Not a craft, maybe magnetic field involved. Quote, between December 2nd and the 4th of 2019, nope, I don't see anything. Like when? Where? If you did what I did in the image, you'll see it on the bottom left. Nope, I see one huge typhoon on the bottom left and nothing out of ordinary. February 12, 2019 to April 12, 2019. K. March 11th, feel like 11 thirds, like 113. What am I looking at? Spells. Some say spelling, but it's really spells. Corona is 66. 11.3 hammer. It's Cthulhu. Source to pickrel. When it flies off super fast is even more legit. You can see the whoosh from the sun's emissions, from the sun vacating. Fuck me. Although it might look fast, but it's taking around 6 hours to take off from the sun since it's a time lapse. Quote, 6 hours, 3 days go by in the effing if you're a special kind of R. About 6 hours took the whoosh moment. Laying eggs in the sun like a parasite wasp. Feels so lucky to be able to see S** like this. Looks like an organism. Took that thing 3 whole days to recharge. I remember after that there's that famous triangle sun. Where can I learn more about this? It looks like a wolf on top of a mountain peak to me, giving out a bigger woo. Are those shapes random, or not random at all? Random, but this one catch a lot of people's attention back then because of the shape, and it was back to back with the strange phenomenon or post. God, I hope they aren't evil. We want you to refer to us as Grey, not as God. Our societies are already being ruled by devil-worshipping elite intentionally be***izing people to strip them of identity and promoting an infantilizing culture to keep them dependent like an abusive mother does to her kids. If it takes a celestial tentacle rapist of the stars to put fear in you, then you're most likely a fool. Anything of that scale wouldn't even comprehend things like good or evil the same way we do, if it were even fully sentient. If this thing is a living being, it could devour the earth and not bat an eye, if applicable, like a squirrel eating an acorn. OFUUUUUCK. Well, now I've seen everything. That's just a sun tornado. Maybe Lovecraft stories weren't just stories. Yes, they were. Anyone who tells you the opposite is just a loon. Read his letters, there you can find that his inspiration came from his night terrors and nightmares. H's was an atheist, nothing wrong with that, so believing in supernatural things was not his way. If I were a non-believer in the paranormal, receiving horrifying visions of otherworldly creatures, I would want to chalk it up to a bad dream, too. I don't believe this S** is real either, but seeing something in a dream doesn't necessarily mean that a dream is all it is. It could just be something we don't know exists yet. It's a tube. Good catch. Holy F***. It faked us out. It's still there during the last frames of the GIF after it was launched. Read somewhere a while back, craft absorb energy from the sun similar to absorbing energy from Earth's storm clouds, particularly the lightning. Just someone's hypothesis. This GIF is longer and higher res than ones I've seen before. Where did you get this? Literally just above you. Oh, quote 24,627,138. Go to AI at HMI browse data. It's the first trumpet. Mayan calendar ended in 2012, but it's the beginning of the end. 7 trumpets later we all die. Prove it. F*** INB4MUH Bible and Jesus. There is no God, only me. Quote, we all die if you are expecting better buzz to protect you, then you are going to die. Those of us smart enough to be prepared to survive will live. Our societies are already being ruled by devil-worshipping elite intentionally be***izing people to strip them of identity and promoting an infantilizing culture to keep them dependent like an abusive mother does to her kids. If it takes a celestial tentacle rapist of the stars to put fear in you, then you are most likely a fool. Although it might look fast, but it's taking around 6 hours to take off from the sun since it's a time lapse. I will feed you some facts, take it or leave it. These are ancient facts that humans have known for thousands of years, not new information, but you might have never heard this before. Every star is a portal, as in every star is a stargate. Does that name suddenly mean something now? All the stars are connected in a network. It is laid out like the board of a Chinese checkers game. Space aliens use our sun as a portal. There are also lots of other portals in the solar system too. Those are the important facts regarding this discussion. Now speculate away, friends. Here are some newer statements that actually seem reasonable to me. Sad face. The source is the Feather Indian that was in the SSP Corey. Good. Some space aliens have been all over our solar system, **********, the shape of a sphere that can be of any size, and some have been seen from the size of a ping pong ball up to the size of Jupiter. A 6th density space alien does not have a physical body, and can appear in any form they choose. I never heard of one being so big before, but why not? The space aliens have been blocking the path of the space lizards, so that they cannot come and go. The lizards that are here are stuck here and will be put on trial for the crimes they have committed. Sounds good to me. If they will allow me to help, I will supply my own ammo, and I am willing to arrest space lizards a lot. Texas ***tile. But scientists say it's the matter of perspective, and that ** is common and well known. Lol. Google tissue NASA, and one of the first results that appeared was this post. The other ones were Indian Facebook names and companies. Do you have any actual sources? The only thing I can find for March 11, 2012 NASA is observations of the Sombrero Galaxy. Fuck, what if stars, planet which we think is lifeless entities, are in fact alive and are smarter than us by a huge margin? Not impossible. There are many processes taking place in the brain, all of which bundle together forms our consciousness. Now imagine as many processes as a million brains together. That's the sun. It's not unreasonable to ***ume that the sun, or any other star, is fully conscious and far more intelligent than anything else in existence. Not at all unreasonable to ***ume that the sun is merely a shadow projection of a being from a far superior dimension, kinda like our own 2D shadow is a simple projection of our 3D bodies. Now, if the sun itself is merely a shadow, imagine the true power of that one single higher dimension being. Now imagine if every star is such a being. It's mind-boggling. Also, it is proof of extraterrestrial, extra-dimensional life. Is any of it true in the slightest? Are we about to witness true victory over the evil forces, or is it an ever bigger ruse by the evil forces? You can't trust anything and anybody. Everything is steeped in deception and lies. How do you know if any information is true at all? This. Quote, what if stars, planet which we think is lifeless entities, are in fact alive and are smarter than us by a huge margin? There is no such thing as dead inanimate matter. Everything is alive, nothing is dead. Nothing ever dies. The only thing which exists is life, and everything in existence is a part of that life. All is one. Also, humans are dumb. Everything is smarter than a human. Quote, humans are dumb, not quite. Humans have a parasite called mind that hijacked them millions of years ago and essentially makes them dumb. But as you well know, that higher intelligence is still there if you learn how to dig beneath the mind. Castaneda talks about this hijack. Quote, not quite. Humans have a parasite called mind. You misspelled egard, dumbass asterisk. If a neutron star entered the solar system, it would be really f***ing obvious, what with the Earth and other planets going into wildly different orbits and all. It doesn't really work that way though. Everything is moving and moving at really high speeds, something the size of Venus which is rotating in the opposite direction compared to all of the other planets could be pulled out of orbit and captured by a different object, such as our Sun, but in order for that to happen, there would have to be a really close approach by a ms*IV object, and the tidal forces would heat up a Venus-sized object to the point that it would take thousands of years, millions, for it to cool back down to a normal temperature. All the other planets would be fine, as long as they did not come into a close approach with such a ms*IV object, but any planet that did get a little close could wind up with a wobble like Earth's wobble, or wind up completely pulled over on its side, the way that Uranus is laying over on its side. Or have a weird elliptical orbit like Pluto. It is very difficult to spot a neutron star too. Even though one could have a ms* that is 10 times the ms* or our Sun, even if it were a member of this solar system, it is so small, such as perhaps 13 miles across in diameter, it could only be located by the gravitational lens effect until it was very close to Earth. IDK, if something as far off as Pluto can be kept in orbit by our Sun, then surely another star entering our system inside Pluto's radius would certainly affect all the other planets' orbits. Would probably eject anything that got close. Will the gray suck our Sun dry? Equals. That is probably part of why the 6th density space aliens trapped the space lizards here with no escape, because if they hadn't done that, the space lizards would have probably pulled some hateful trick as they were leaving, such as fire a weapon into the Sun that would have caused a huge CME that could have fried the Earth. What is the original source of this image anyhow? Anyone got a link? You can go to that NASA site and enter that 2012 date and see it for yourself. They discovered it and named it. But didn't they come up with some bullshit explanation back then? Like it WS*OME glitch or an insect? Quote, didn't they come up with some bullshit explanation? Swamp gas. They said it was magnetic tangle. No, like solar flake kind of. They said we wouldn't worry about this. So this is from a NASA radio telescope. Quote, extended a tentacle-like object to the Sun and supplied energy. So that's the one who is getting all the dark matter produced from cutting off our spirit animals by their church. Phillips Pullman, if you want to go down that route. Pick up and drop off. Usual crap. Whatever happened with the Solar Observatory being stormed by the military, FBI? Def feels linked to this. I remember that. Wow, you'd have to be clinically r***ed to buy that, good lord. Quote, you're r***ed for doing a simple Google search to find the answer keck. Quote, tentacle. Oh god, madness has taken over me from my Greek cancer. God, I hope they aren't evil. That's a metaphor for Bitcoin eating up the fiat system. CHECKM. An unknown object, apparently self-propelled, messing around the Sun. Yeah, it's not a UFO in the sense that it's not a flying saucer full of green little men. But to handwave this thing as just a phenomena, guy's smiley face is downright ignorant. *****, it's even real, of course. It looks so out there that I'm almost inclined to believe it's just another LARP. Quote, an unknown object apparently self-propelled messing around the sun. It is neither unknown, an object, nor self-propelled. Nor is it messing around with the sun. Coronal cavities look odd, but they are known phenomena. Yeah, it's not a UFO in the sense that it's not a flying saucer full of green little men. Nor in any other sense. But to handwave this thing as just a phenomena, guy's smiley face, is downright ignorant. Understanding something is not handwaving. Even if you don't understand it, it is still not anything mysterious. Assuming it's even real, of course. It is. It looks out there that I'm almost inclined to believe it's just another LARP. Yeah, it looks weird to me, is not a useful way to evaluate things that happen in an environment totally overwhelmingly different from the one in which you formed your sense of what does and does not look weird. It 404 now. Got to be honest, looks like a magnetic phenomena to me. Point 1 easily explains why it's not affected by gravity. 2 even our own Earth's magnetic sphere is known to sort of bend and interfere with itself, pinching off bits of our atmosphere into space. Point 3 magnetic things spin. 4 magnetic things don't have to rotate with the physical surface. 5 magnetic phenomena are not physical, meaning it disappeared from sight. S**ON as it was ejected and stopped swirling. Magnetically charged objects around ET got not reason so far to believe it isn't magnetic. Quote, it's something that happens to the sun, something observed by NASA. I don't see any proof that it is a natural occurrence in any of that. Doesn't look like a natural occurrence to me. If it looks like a natural occurrence to you, then please explain it to me. It explains it in the link. But go ahead and feel smarter than everyone else. You are using corona crown incorrectly. The corona is the solar atmosphere. S**N during a total eclipse. What you have circled there is a prominence. Corona is just an atmosphere of a sun star. Total eclipse makes it visible. Quote, corona is just an atmosphere of a sun star. OHF** it all makes sense. The CHINKONES. You're making 5G to reflect the sun and give bats to HEMVIRUS and give it to US. Don't you see? GUYSSOMETHING something Jews child trafficking flat earth. It's a CN. When do I get my cool metal body? Nice CGI. I've seen the original. Is F***ing fake? Also, the objects in the sun are either solar flares or dark spots. But go ahead and feel smarter than everyone else. It's Hellstar Remina. Can I have a TLDR of the whole thread? Thank you. No, you F*** can't. Reddit forg. F** out of here. OS**. I remember this. I watched it on the feed they had available. Don't know how to go back to that website and find it. Probably some researching. High-res 4096, 2048 from the 8th of March 2012 and the 9th of March 2012. Missing high-res perfectly available before and after. Only low-res 1024 available for those 2 days. Interesting. Merely a coincidence. Swamp gas. This was likely just very advanced AES mining R-star for raw materials, using an extremely powerful electromagnetic siphon. Besides hydrogen, which, as you know, is by far the most abundant, stars contains a lot of other elements in varying quantities. Wrong. Also, I did a conservative measurement of the size of this craft. Given that one of the images published with the craft was about 1/4 of the Sun, and that the Sun is just about 109 Earths in diameter, a conservative estimate is that the craft is about 5x the diameter of the Earth. Faggot. Quote, given that one of the images published with the craft was about 1/4 of the Sun, we'll have to send a Jan Michael Vincent to that quadrant to verify. The Sun is made for BBC. Oh yeah, LMAO, that was just me messing around, not some weird Indian goddess asterisk. Did this really happen? Why did NASA allow it to be recorded and broadcast rather than cutting the feed? Seems too good to be true in a sense. I'm a believer in aliens but also believe that our governments are doing everything to conceal them from us, so I can't see why the largest space organization in the world would simply allow such a ***** piece of evidence for them to be released to the public. I don't know what exactly that object is, be it a spacecraft or an organism, but *****ing it's not CGI. I don't think you can easily argue it to be any kind of natural and familiar phenomena. Lol, Jesus Christ, read ****ing book. Neat. Yeah, the answer to Fermi paradox is right here under our nose. No *****. Whoa, sucking energy aside, did it do something to the sun itself? Sun die faster, sun change into hotter or colder sun to make Earth or Mars inhabitable. Whoa. Je suis irrésistible de gauge VA10. Two sword de la. Let's find more tissue. Latest 3rd of April sun got this big crown and somewhat bodiless tentacle. Go to the 3rd of April 2020 to see GIF. You are using corona crown incorrectly. The corona is the solar atmosphere ****n during a total eclipse. What you have circled there is a prominence. Just thought about something. If it's something intelligent in any way, either it doesn't know about our existence, doesn't care, or wants us to know, because otherwise it would hide by positioning itself behind the sun from the telescope's perspectives for the duration of the event. Something very interesting is that if you think it could be something like an oblivious spaceship just stopping by our sun to recharge and be on its way, statistically speaking it would mean there's a load of those going around. If it's something like that though, it's far more reasonable to think it not only knows about us but it being around is somehow related to our existence. But in that case, why didn't it hide? A good answer to this is that maybe doing so would be less energy efficient and they don't care about some red species witnessing some weird going on their home star. Hopefully Trump's Space Force will put a stop to these goddamn intergalactic freeloaders. Some sheep here really believe that it's a natural phenomenon. Laughable. Interesting, but how the is this a catastrophe? The sun is still there and seems to be working just fine, and no it didn't change color, it was always white Mandela tarts. It's the sun too. It's ****ing solar prominence. My god, people want conspiracies so much that they dismiss science completely. I thought this board might be useful for murder mysteries and some occasional ARGs, but I was damn wrong. It's just a book of people making up conspiracies with ******* behind them. X goes through its different phases, but it is always garbage. Few years back, unsolved murder mysteries and missing people threads were a common thing. I miss when we had Innerwoods threads every night. I'd start one, but I don't got any good stories to start it up with. Well, one cryptid-related one where I saw a deer-sized wolf from a distance. Might make one later. Do you know any good case mystery forums? I just want some brain food for when I'll go to the police academy. My brain is still in development, so if I can form the right type of critical thinking I can probably have a good start. But anyway, if you got any good links, I'm all ears. Well, eyes technically smiley face. Fuck you, cop. I don't. True crime isn't really my thing. Anne Rule books are pretty decent though. She does whole collections and has a big library. Can't remember the name, but I read one where she interviewed forensic guys and collected their most interesting cases. Not a link, but it's a start. Just remember, don't become one of the pigs. Good cops exist though, you just gotta keep your head out of your and be mindful of the people you deal with. Good luck. God, the Innerwoods threads went on for years. Quote, MUH solar prominence XDD. T. Sheep. GTFONES. I've seen lots of solar prominence and the one in Ops pic isn't even remotely close to it. Fuck science. I read the science at this very day. Cause IWS upper heavy into this back then. And they had nothing. And now the no cause of one video and cause of reasons. Quote, I gave it a name so it's no longer scary. The F** was this, then. Consensus is an internal reflection within the telescope. Sure, an internal reflection caused by carelessly aiming the telescope over a pocket of swamp gas. Just ask Dr. Hynek of Project Blue Book. Looks like a craft launched some type of shield. I'm not quite sure if it was to protect itself or something else behind said shield. Looks like it was intended to mitigate the blast wave from the sun. Quote, 1 in a chance of a catastrophic solar event hitting Earth in 2020, published in 2012, https://www.wired.com/2012/02/ms*ive solar flare. It was an impregnation. Actually it was a solar eruption. https://www.liveScience.com/19024-refueling-ufo-solar-prominence.html. What else would they say? No, this doesn't look at all like solar eruption. Quote, the position where the tentacles are in contact is moving due to the rotation of the sun, so you can see the difference from solar flares and coronas. It's the werewolves from the werewolf universe coming to take me away. See y'all later. What happened here? Your mom's S** got in the way of the Hubble. Fiend legend. Cool, let's send him into the sun, see what happens. https://www.youtube.com/watch?v=TLWazboo video about that. Oh, you sure this is the